DigiRoad 7, Frontier, episodes 19 through 21 of the English dub. Last time, we had like a gumball rally kind of thing going on, a train race. It was whatever, kind of a missed opportunity. We also had before that, we got to see some Gomamons, and then Tommy playing arcade game. Tommy getting his Beast Spirit. Zoe's Beast Spirit was also featured. But man, what a disappointing episode 18. So going into this, I don't really have any idea what's going to happen, right? We're still trying to head to whatever that purplish red thing in the sky was, trying to head towards there. And maybe the Digivices will talk to us again.
DigiRoad.
What the fuck was that episode? Episode 19 is done. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be again. I said before I didn't like Burgermons. I actually forgot that we were going to the Burgermon village. So this wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. I'm a bit afraid that means we're going to spend more time with them next. I hope not. I think it's probably on par with the one episode that JP got his spirit evolution in, where it's just kind of like, I don't think anything about this episode clicks at all. And it's our episode just about cooking and then following them, cooking some more, and then you beat the enemy by feeding him burgers. It's just, I don't even know what to say. I really don't know what to say. I have nothing more to say about this one. Weird episode. Did not like it. Again, wasn't terrible, wasn't maybe even bad, but disappointing way to beat the enemy. I don't know why you also wouldn't just kill the Casey Jones sounding motherfucker. I don't know why you wouldn't just kill him after he passed out from eating too many burgers. And he'll just come back. He's just going to come back to the village. Because why wouldn't he? He can just control it again and force them to cook even more for him. Because they're not going to be able to beat him. And eventually, the children are all going to leave. I don't know. This episode didn't really make sense to me. Again, with that part. And just is not anything really interesting in it. Like, I think the most memorable part of the episode was Rika's narration at the start. She was talking like insanely fast. She sounded like she was running out of breath. Strange episode. Really why? Does not make me like the Burgermons anymore. I pray the next one does not have any of the Burgermons in it again. I pray that we're not in the village next time. But we might be.
DigiRoad.
Okay, episode 20 is done. Oh, wow, we actually finally got to see Duskmon. He's not really how I expected him to be. Obviously, I was thinking more of anti-hero role, kind of a bit quiet, thinking inside his head, why do we do this? Why are we here? What must I do to find my purpose? Like stuff like that, right? Complete misread based off him just looking at a moon. You know, maybe I was overthinking it, him just staring at the moon. He's not a thinker at all. He's quite loyal to Cherubimon, which again, I did not think that was going to be the case. I thought he was going to be the kind of outsider of the group where they didn't really know where his loyalty lied. But Cherubimon knew he could get some use out of him anyway, even if he wasn't fully loyal, right? Like kind of letting him go on his own to kind of fall into his lap later. But not the case. He is like kind of like the enforcer, I guess, of Cherubimon and loyal to him. And he's a snitch. Duskmon is a snitch. What the hell? Yeah, so that was a bit interesting. He killed off the Casey Jones sounding. What the fuck? He also, I think the past few episodes it sounded more like a really bad Rocky impression. Or Fozzie, the Foz. What the hell's the guy's name? Anyway, yeah, that guy's gone. I didn't really hate him. Obviously, Grumblemon's the worst. We still have to hear his name even though he's dead, but Grumblemon's the worst. So everyone else's deaths just don't matter to me because the greatest threat to my existence, at least, is long gone. No villain can be worse than Grumblemon. So I guess next episode is going to be a continuation, and we're going to be fighting Duskmon a bit, or maybe he's just going to give us a warning and then leave us alone. Who knows? Who knows what the guy is thinking? Well, I mean, he's obviously thinking in favor of Cherubimon, but the way he's going about things, obviously we don't know exactly what his modus operandi is. Is that how you say it? Is that how you say that? I have no idea. Also, it was cool hearing Cherubimon's voice because I think this is the first time in this anime we've heard his voice. I can 100% do that. 1000% do it. But I am sick again, so I think that'd be a really bad idea to do it. I think it'd really jack up my throat. But I can 100% do that voice. It is one of like maybe 4 voices I can do. I think this is also the first time we saw an evolution scene featuring all of them at once. All 5 of the main cast, so that's really cool because we had 4 before. Haha, it rhymed. But we had 4 before, but this time we had all 5, as I had just said before. If you do not have ears, if you cannot hear. So that was pretty cool. I forgot JP had his beast spirit, but I guess it's because like episodes are like blending together because it's felt like for a while that we're just kind of slowly moving along. So again, it is nice that after such a long time we finally see Duskmon. I think it must be over 10 episodes now when he was first teased. And this episode overall was kind of a whatever episode. It feels like it didn't serve much purpose besides introducing Duskmon, right? Which isn't a bad thing. I just mean like there isn't just much to talk about outside of him. I guess for theories, there's maybe a chance that Cherubimon is still just going to be using Duskmon, but it's going to be more like, oh, I was loyal to you. How could you betray me? It's like, oh, you fool, right? I'm not doing Cherubimon's voice because it would jack up my throat right now, but I can do it. Just believe. But oh, you fool, I used you for your power. Again, that's not me attempting to do the voice. I'm protecting my throat. So there's still a chance that big betrayal, then he's lost, and then there's the introspective stuff, and then he helps the crew. So there's still a chance Duskmon will be on our side, maybe. But it looks like he's going to be a lot of trouble right now. Oh, and one more thing. I'm really glad that we did not start off the episode with the Bergamons. I'm glad we moved right past them, completely ignored them. No time wasted there. Just heading straight to our goal.
DigiRoad.
21 is done. I have mixed feelings about this episode. There's some really strong things in this episode, such as the scene layout. I don't know how you would say it, but like the way that the shots are done, the way the lighting is done, it's like very atmospheric. This is like a very atmospheric episode throughout. Like the scene with JP by the fire talking to Zoe. I thought that was not only good visually, but I thought that was really good character-wise too, being able to once again see deeper into JP and how much he really does care about his friends and how much he actually kind of understands all the dynamics. And then onto the scene with Koji and Takuya like walking down those steps and into that kind of abandoned building place. It visually was like really unique for the series so far with how the again lighting was done, and then kind of the scene layout, like the way that it was, like the perspective of it from very far away and seeing them walk throughout it, and then shooting to being very close and personal to them with the darkness and the light kind of reflecting off their faces. Like really good with the visuals in this episode. But I have some issues with like dialogue related things. Earlier on, Koji said that he wasn't working as a team to Takuya. But then later on, when Takuya is trying to do working as a team thing, right? Which again was Koji's issue, was that he wasn't working as a team. He was then like, it won't work. We can't do it. So like working as a team isn't the real complaint then. It wouldn't have mattered in the first place. And with Takuya saying, if we work as a team, we can do anything, it doesn't make sense for Koji to then have been complaining earlier about the lack of teamwork or team effort again, when he's now just saying it won't work no matter what, we just need to run away. And both of them were said after the fight with Duskmon. It's not like one was said before, so that's why, because things change. They were both said after. So I just think it's really awkward dialogue there. And it feels like they could have done more to like flesh out what he's actually saying, because it just comes off like a bit contradictory. Also, I think he was working as a team earlier. The criticism against Takuya, he wasn't just rushing in fighting alone. JP did a giant blast, and then he was rushing in through the smoke afterwards as like an opening attack, right? Others could have jumped in too. I think that is, by definition, teamwork. That was a dual attack move, right? The smoke to cover what he was going to do, and then bursting through it to attack, right? I don't know. This was just, maybe it's dub issues. Very well could be, but that's what's being watched, so you have to criticize based off what you're saying. And I just think the dialogue was a bit iffy in this episode with like, yeah, just the character, like the contradictory statements by the characters. And it seems like from what we've seen, Duskmon wants the attacks because he can absorb them. That explains why he was screaming yes, yes earlier when JP was saying that large attack to him. So he somehow is able to harness the power of the attacks, or I guess negates them, but I'm pretty sure they specifically said he absorbed it. So he can absorb attacks, so that's going to be a obviously extremely hard opponent to fight against. And there's a lot of confusion around Duskmon's relation to Koji, right? Because he started freaking out when he heard the name Koji, and then everything was swallowed by darkness. So I wonder if Duskmon is actually being mind controlled by Cherubimon. That's not his true self. And Duskmon's true self is maybe another human that actually used spirit evolution. And that's why they would know Koji. Or maybe Koji, when he was younger, actually visited the digital world, and that's where he met Duskmon, right? There's two different options there. And maybe it's probably more likely the latter, that Koji had met him at an earlier date and time. And like that name, like, run a bell in his head to almost like wipe him out of the mind control. So there's some interesting stuff there of like maybe how Koji got there as a kid, Duskmon and him's relationship, Duskmon trying to break free of the mind control. Again, this is just assuming stuff just based off what we saw. Because it has to be something to where he knows Koji for this to be a thing. I guess it could also be maybe he knew a different Koji, so someone else called Koji. But I think it's more likely him and Koji met when Koji was a child. Well, way younger as a child, because he still is one. But when he was way younger. And, yeah, it's just ringing a bell in his mind. And he's being mind controlled by Cherubimon. Because it's been shown that he can corrupt Digimon and change their moods and everything and how they react to stuff. Like with the Mushroomons. I think it'd be a bit more interesting if it was another child and it's the child's memories or whatever, but I don't know if that really makes sense because of them purely referring to him as Duskmon and also about, humans are weak, the children, right, all that kind of stuff. But it could be because they don't have to know. It would be completely Cherubimon that would know. So it could also be where it's another child that can spirit evolve. And that's what Duskmon is. It's another child's spirit evolution. It could be multiple things. It's interesting. This was a really good way to kind of end the episode. And then Takuya kind of having the doubts, and then that really visually cool, like, you almost at first think they're eyes in the background. And then as more light comes in, you see it's like a train with them kind of on the side. And the voice that's coming from it almost sounds like it's coming from like a speaker, like just by the way how booming it is, right? Just how booming it is. Almost like kind of like a boom box is the train, because of like the pitch of the voice and how it also, it's just like it's a very booming feeling. I thought that was a pretty cool scene, and as a kid that probably would have really scared me. It's like really, really interesting visually. So I think the later half of this episode, and again certain of the shots throughout are like really good. It's just there's some dialogue issues in this one in particular that just makes Koji kind of feel like he doesn't know what he's saying. Which, again, that could be dub issues. Maybe in the Japanese it's similar, but maybe they explain it a bit more or expand on why it's slightly different now. But I did think it was a really good thing, like a line that Koji said when he was talking about, can you promise that they won't get hurt? Because if you can't, then I'm not in, right? Because it shows the deeper caring that he has for them, which we've seen more recently as compared to earlier on. Like, we've seen it grow over time. and like multiple pieces of compassion, like giving Zoe his jacket and not kind of yelling at her or pushing her away when she accidentally hugged him when she was scared. He was just like, "Yep, no problem." So it'll be interesting how it all goes from here. I don't know. This was like I think, a really, really good way to end the episode because it just leaves so much to think about, so much to kind of theorize. But I just wish some of the dialogue was a bit better because, again, it just makes Koji seem a bit almost like two different characters with the whole, we should have worked as a team, Takuya. We need to work better as a team. And then Takuya is doing a team plan, a team mission, teamwork. And then he's like, against it, and then Takuya's like, well, if we work as a team, we could do anything. And it's like, well, that's kind of what Koji was saying. I don't know. It's just, it's not entirely contradictory of like, we need to get out of here. It's more important for the team to work together to escape. But again, I think there should have been more added in dialogue to further expand on that compared to what we got, which was just a bit lackluster and felt a bit champlu, a bit mixed up. Like it was weird. So I guess next time we're going to see what's going on with the darkness, how the other characters dealing with the darkness. I imagine we're gonna get more background stuff with JP and Zoe because they're gonna be in the darkness too. Maybe Tommy will see his mom in the darkness, and maybe we're gonna see glimpses of Koji and Duskmon's relationship, if that's the way that they're going with things. And yeah, once again, sorry about voice being jacked up a bit. If it is that way, I don't really know until I look back. But am sick again. Don't know why this keeps happening, but got to keep moving forward. Life prevails, I suppose. And things could get pretty interesting from here.